When we talk about vintage Seiko chronographs, there's a high probability that these images will pop out of your head. The Seiko Panda, the Seiko Bullhead, helmet, the Seiko Pogue, and so much more. But Seiko has a lot of hidden gems in their history. One of them is what we have here today, the Seiko Flyback 7016 5020, also known as the Seiko Tank or Monaco, from the Tag Heuer Monaco. I actually don't know who chooses these nicknames, maybe because of the shape. So when I got this watch, the case was not gold. It had already faded. I'll put a picture here. I always forget to document the progress of the watches that I would like to have restored, as my excitement overshadows the documentation part all the time. This was recently gold electroplated by a local watchmaker, and shout out to him for doing an excellent job. It came out perfect in my eyes. This is not your ordinary Seiko chronograph. As you can see here on the back, I will remove this strap and show you that it has a unique mechanism here. That area of the watch, you can press it by using a tool, and also this side, and it will remove this top part of the watch, which I'll show a picture right here. I don't want to do it right now because I don't want to stress that mechanism, because eventually it will get stuck and this area, this top area, will become loose. So by doing that, that is the only way that you can access the dial and the movement. Okay, so let's take a look at the case back, which it says there SGP. I won't think it is solid gold plated because first the color has faded, and that's why I had it done. But searching online, I found this website with the list of abbreviations and their meaning used by Seiko on their watches. And SGP stands for Seiko Gold Color Plate, which makes more sense. There's also a 7016 5029, which has a base metal top instead of a gold plated. But I think Seiko nailed it with this one. The combination of the brown sunburst dial and gold is just breathtaking. This is probably one of the coolest Seiko chronographs I have held in my hands. The best part about this watch is the movement. This 7016 movement is one of a kind during its time. The dual function subdial is the most useful one yet. It can record both the minute and hour function without having another subdial, which makes the watch look classy, clean and elegant. You can also change the day and date by putting the crown on the first position and by pressing it down further, as any old chronograph mechanism of Seiko would do. So let's show you the function here. So this is a flyback. So that stops it, and let's try to reset it. And as you can see there, the yellow marker there is for the hour, and the black marker there is for the minute, which rotates twice to complete 1 hour. As you can see, there's a double recorder there of 40 and 10 and so on. So let's try to see the function of this watch. So start, stop, and resets. Yeah, so it's not that straight, but I understand it. Being a flyback, you can just instantly press this area of the watch and it will reset and continue. The 7016 movement has 17 jewels and beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. So far, this one is in good running condition, with the hands reset at 12 or close to it. The dimensions are also fit for any wrist size. 39mm case size, thickness of 13.5, it's very thin for a chronograph, and a lug-to-lug of 43mm, which is excellent. The wrist presence of the watch is more aimed towards the dressier side and less sporty, as it is a chronograph. Okay, on the wrist, it looks really nice. It is just an elegant looking watch. Man, I wonder why Seiko stopped making these affordable chronographs. Now you can't even buy a Seiko chronograph without spending $2,000. Seiko has a ton of movement choices for their chronographs. They have the 6139, 6138, and this one is the 70 series, 7018, 7016, 7015. The 61 series was made on the Suwa factory, which If you recall, it's a factory for where the Seiko made their famous dive watches with the Suwa logo. This one is in, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Daini. It is another factory that has a different logo, which is some sort of lightning bolt instead of being a whirlpool of the Suwa logo there on the case back. Also there on the 9 o'clock. They actually made a lot of iconic watches, these two factories, and they had their own design team. Just so happens that the 61 series, the Suwa, has the most popular ones, the Pogue, the Seiko Panda. The 70 series has their own Panda. Beautiful dial and designs, which are very unique. And I think this is incredibly overlooked, this history of Seiko. The Daini Suwa factories, they're developing on their own terms, and just so happens that Suwa won that race. Man, this watch would be a gem in this generation if it was released. So nowadays you can get a chronograph, but I just think the solar speed timer models can't fill that gap. I mean, I appreciate them, but they're just not the same. If a modern watch collector can get hooked easily on dive watches because they have entry-level ones, what makes you think they won't get hooked if Seiko releases an affordable modern chronograph, let's say sub 1000? But I guess manufacturing chronograph in the modern times is difficult and costly. Too bad we're stuck with looking into the past. This model right now hovers at around $500 US. It's nice to share with you guys these types of watches, and it's just interesting to see that Seiko did this before. I hope they reissue this one, and I hope it's not quartz, maybe an automatic, a cheap automatic. Highly unlikely, but we have this. We can always look at the 70 series, the 61 series of chronographs. Having one chronograph from this era is just a dream. It is an awesome looking watch, a gentleman's watch. It just looks very classy. I really enjoy the complexity of a chronograph, even though I have a love and hate relationship with them. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you have a question about this watch. And I'll see you soon. Stay safe.